energy forecast for Friday, October 6th. So today we have the moon in Cancer, and of course that's our place of power. So we are definitely sitting in a very interesting emotional and intuitive realm, trying to process some of the things that have already transpired, and of course major shifts coming in our headspace, coming to our heart space, really changing the way in which we've been observing, viewing, understanding certain situations of the past, and really trying to gauge the hints and clues coming at us in the present moment, trying to show us a glimpse of the future. Of course, we are building towards the last quarter moon taking place in this Cancer energy, and this is definitely going to give us a glimpse, if you will, a turning point, if you will, as we're gaining a totally different perspective. So of course, we're still trying to sort out what needs to stay, what needs to go, what's working for us, what isn't working for us. And this last quarter moon is definitely bringing in all the hints and clues over this past month that we have kind of missed due to whatever reason, and kind of give us a couple of puzzle pieces to snap together, revealing again a different perspective, a different understanding, and therefore a different projection on where it is that we'd like to go from here. So there are 6 different aspects here today, relatively quiet day in the cosmos, if I do say so myself. 5 of them are going to involve the moon. First, though, we have the only aspect that doesn't involve the moon, and this is between Venus and Pluto. So Venus, of course, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money. She's building in her emotional intensity here in this Leo energy. She is but days away from clearing her post-retrograde shadow period and really wrapping up her time in the heart and soul of the zodiac. Pluto, of course, the great transformer himself, retrograde in this Capricorn energy, helping us to boss up to new roles and responsibilities, to flip the script and really kind of play the crappy hand in which we've been dealt in the best way possible. This is going to be a time of realization. What is it that we're realizing? Well, first of all, we're second guessing ourselves, our thoughts, our feelings, what it is that we need, what we want, what we desire, what we deserve. We're second guessing particular aspects in our relationship dynamics, and we're second guessing direction, path, passion, purpose. Well, Pluto is here to help us make a major change and transformation in our head space, in our heart space, but we will need a little bit of a timeout to make some adjustments in our perspective, in our thoughts, in our feelings. It's almost like we need to step back to kind of reassess what it is that we thought we were doing, what it is that we want to do now. Again, we're in Libra season, so indecisiveness, second guessing is kind of the nature of our thought and emotional process at the time. We are really kind of seeing, because Pluto likes to bring up a lot of the fears and doubts and insecurities in order for us to realize the old egoic programming and conditioning that is playing, really dictating the present moment of the here and now. We need to sit in that funk, in those fears. We need to kind of understand where we're having some not so nice thoughts and feelings. Maybe jealousy is rearing its ugly head. Maybe we're kind of suspicious of the people around us. Either way, Pluto does bring us down this, I'm going to say, dark path of exploration in order for us to see the light, to appreciate the light, to unearth and flip some tables over in order to actually see where this egoic programming has more of a hold on us than our higher self does. So it's almost kind of illuminating for us where it is that we have some blind spots in our thoughts, in our emotions, where it is that we're kind of, I'm going to say, tunnel vision, still very narrow-minded on what it is that our heart actually needs in order to feel safe and secure and stable. So this particular interaction, although isn't very fun or favorable, is going to be very revealing and does give us that opportunity to kind of take a time out, step back, really kind of review and reevaluate what it is that we're thinking and feeling and how it is that we can change that particular stance in order to be more empowering. The moon in Cancer energy is going to semi-square Venus shortly after. This is definitely going to put us at odds in our heart space. Again, may I remind you that Venus, being in this Leo energy, the heart and soul of the zodiac, trying to get her real and raw and vulnerable in order to kind of discern the life, the realm, the reality, the relationships that the old version of self has created. since about June, and more in particularly August, we've kind of been, really unearthing what it is that is no longer working for us, what it is in our physical realm that, yeah, at one time we prayed for, and at one time we were really resonating with, that now, not so much. So here we are kind of sitting in this emotional type of intuitive energy that the moon in Cancer gives us. We're kind of connected to the past a little bit more so than we should. We really do kind of sink our teeth into what is old, tried, tested, and true in this Cancer energy. But Venus, of course, is trying to get real and raw and vulnerable, to build up that emotional intensity, to be bold and brave and courageous enough to break away from the old and actually set her sights on what she has to do, especially in her physical realm where some particular relationships are concerned, to start kind of building a brand new foundation and structure where the realm and reality of her day-to-day life starts looking good, feeling good, and starts mirroring back what it is that she's already arrived at within herself. And of course, when we're talking about Venus, we're talking about all these planets. This is triggering a particular aspect within each and every single one of us. So 9:48 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the moon in Cancer getting into the boxing ring, squaring off with the sun in Libra. That, of course, gives us our last quarter moon in Cancer. So this particular tension point, this conflict between where it is that we're coming from and where it is that we desire to go, and the overlap of the here and now, recognizing what is out of balance, what is out of whack, where it is that we don't feel safe and secure, where it is that we need to kind of change things up, releasing aspects of the old in order to get down to the nitty gritty on what we have control over in the here and now, to start building towards a more stable foundation, especially where our relationship dynamics are concerned. So, of course, the last quarter moon always kind of brings up a lot of inner conflict within us. We have to observe that inner conflict and understand where it is that parts of us are wanting to let go and parts of us are definitely willing to hold on. The moon is then going to sextile, beautiful interaction with Jupiter. Jupiter's the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings. He's retrograde in this Taurus energy, giving us a little bit of a step back, an observer type of situation for us to see where we're resisting change, what we're actually afraid of by making some changes, where we need to kind of step back and observe whether or not we're on the same path, trying to kind of create new opportunities for us to grow, for us to be happy, for us to build something more stable in our lives. The moon interacting with Jupiter in this way definitely brings on a positive vibe, more confidence, more of an optimistic approach, if you will, more safety and security, ensuring us that it's okay to kind of release our hold on the past. If it means understanding that we've outgrown certain roles and responsibilities, that we've leveled up, that we've passed the test, and now we need to move on to the next level. The moon is going to interact with Saturn, though, and not the nicest way. Saturn, of course, the Lord of Karma, retrograde in this Pisces energy, helping to deconstruct and dissolve the old version of self, the old realm and reality in which that version has created due to the belief system that, of course, that old version of self needed to have in order to create the realm and reality that, of course, what at one point was very, very much resonating with the vibration and frequency in which we were all at, but we've all grown up. We've all learned different life lessons. We've all raised our vibration and frequency to a new level, and therefore we are really having a hard time letting go. And again, the moon in Cancer, very connected to the past, very much holding on to what it is that we've created, very much romanticizing, being a little bit more nostalgic, looking back and creating a picture in which looks a lot better than the actual experience in which many of us have had. This is definitely going to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer. Saturn, especially in a negative aspect, comes in with the heat. Why would you want to change? Why do you want to grow? These particular negative Nancy narratives are the attempt of the egoic programming to keep us small, to keep us dim, to keep us in a state of paralysis, not growing, not evolving. So we want to be careful that our mood, our attitude, our thoughts, our feelings don't take the deepest dive possible. We want to be aware that we do have control over kind of nipping some of these things in the bud, so to speak, but there is going to be a heaviness, a weight, a seriousness, a somberness, really reflecting back on all of the crappy things that have happened to us, very focused on the, I'm going to say, victimhood mentality, the woe poor is me narrative for just a moment. Now, things aren't going to get much better because we're going to end the day off with the moon getting into the boxing ring, fighting it out with who? Chiron, the wounded healer. Okay, so Chiron, the wounded healer, is retrograde in Aries energy, giving us a beautiful opportunity to really identify the problems within ourselves, our mental health issues, our emotional pain and trauma, our baggage that we are continuously bringing into this present moment, really kind of allowing that to have more power over the choices and decisions that we have on our plate right now, really dictating for us what is possible for our future selves based off of the past. Now, this is definitely going to open some wounds. Let me just say that the moon in Cancer, we're highly sensitive, we're super emotional, we're very intuitive, but we're also very passive aggressive and super defensive. So this is likely going to put us in a situation where we're not feeling as open as we would like. We're not feeling as safe and secure and stable as we would like. We're really kind of picking ourselves apart, tearing ourselves down, so to speak. And the only good thing that we can kind of pull from this is sometimes we need to break ourselves down and pick ourselves apart so that we can realize where we need to build ourselves up in a much better way. So again, the square energy, creating that tension and conflict, although it doesn't feel very good, is going to illuminate for us the issues, the problems, the wounds that are still very alive and well within us, preventing us from actually moving on, moving forward, seeing some progress and growth. And of course, in that illumination, we always have choice points. What are we going to do with this energy, this narrative, these emotions? How can we kind of change them? How can we boss up? How can we use them in order to empower ourselves to make the changes, the transformations that we're kind of currently hesitant to actually make?